What's up, everyone? How are we doing? Thank you again for tuning in. We're in the basement today. The sound's actually a little bit better in the basement. Not only is it easier to hear my coffee right here. I don't want to spill it. I'm trying to reach for it like an idiot. But I kind of like the setup. Whatever. We're going to deal with it. No, it's not finished because I don't ever know when I'm going to finish it. So that's okay. But today I want to talk about, it's kind of like a burnout, I guess. People sometimes get, I don't want the exact definition, and honestly, the research doesn't really know the exact definition. People call it central fatigue, people call it overtraining, but basically what happens is you kind of aren't very excited to train anymore. And there's actually a lot of reasons why this might happen. Now, there's some dietary ones, and I will not go into those today. That's a pause because I thought about it. It's kind of a long list and actually interesting discussion, but not one we're going to have today. I want to talk about more of the psychological aspect of it. And the irony of it is as I drink my coffee, it's going to be a little bit more about the arousal aspect. So do you get really excited before you lift? And some of the negatives of actually getting too hyped up. So the question is, if you get as hyped up as humanly possible every workout, is that sustainable? Well, in the short run, getting hyped up can give you a really good workout. There's lots of effort involved. You get juiced up. You got loud music. You know, you're cranking away, and you're doing more than you can do otherwise. But sustainably, that's not really the case. And there's actually an interesting reason why. When you have loud music and you're aroused and hyped up and juiced, you might actually be having some sort of blockage of feedback from the internal system of your body. So your body has internal systems and regulators, and it's like, hey, man, you're working really hard. They've shown that things like music can block some of that. So you can actually push yourself a little bit further, which is great. But when you get so crazy hyped up every single workout, you're pushing yourself beyond every single time, it's not very sustainable. The reason is you're kind of in overdrive every time. Now, that doesn't mean don't drink a pre-workout as I drink a coffee right here. Shout out to Drake, Strength to Speed. He told me to put a little bit of salt in my coffee. It's kind of fire. I like it a lot. But it's not against the pre-workout. It's more against the idea of getting so jacked up every single time that, like I say, you get so excited you can't see straight, that you're pushing in overdrive. And so some things you can think about is a single workout is part of the process. It's not like going to be the end all be all. So you don't need to get jacked up every single time. Number two is when you get so jacked up, you're lifting more weight than what you can actually lift if you weren't jacked up. So you're almost working at a higher percentage of 1 rep max, again, which is very fatiguing. Obviously, there's the aspect of it might be blocking some internal feedback to the body saying, hey, man, you don't need to work out so hard. Number 3 or 4, I'm not sure what number I'm at right now. You might add extra volume because you're actually enjoying it, right? When you're doing this, you get in a competitive spirit sometimes, and you just want to do more and more and more. Well, that might not be a good thing too, because it means more and more recovery. Now, one time doing that workout's probably fine, but repeating that workout over and over again, and on top of that, by the way, when you're getting so jacked up, you actually might just end up going for a 1 RM because things are feeling light, which you probably don't want to do anyway, because just repeating your 1 rep max over and over again is a great way to get tired and probably make not as much progress as you want to because you're not getting as much volume in. But you get the idea. You almost have this snowball effect of things cycling downhill. And so while I'm all for being focused and locked in when you train, and you can have a pre-workout, a stimulant, sure, whatever you want. I drink a coffee before it. It's just being very cognizant of how far you're pushing yourself beyond that kind of baseline. My baseline isn't, I've had 5 cups of coffee and I'm listening to music and I'm jacked up and ready to, go to war with the weights. Baseline is like you just woke up. It's probably not baseline. Baseline is probably more like you've been awake for 5 hours, right? Okay, so you have a baseline, and how much above baseline is what you should be aware of for your workout. And that's something that's helped me personally if I think about how I'm progressing over time in terms of, not actually progressing, but how I am handling the training load. Am I excited to train every day? Am I getting not burnt out is kind of the key word, right? It's not like you're getting the situation you're so exhausted and tired. I think people think about burnout and they think about fatigue or slumped on a couch. It's more like, are you actually still excited to lift? If you make every workout the most exciting lift ever, well, it's going to be hard to sustain that. And so obviously there are days that aren't as fun as others and days that are more fun. But if you're trying to push every day to be the most extremely entertaining, exciting, competitive day, that I don't think is very sustainable. I just wanted to share that with y'all. I hope y'all appreciate it as always. Thanks for listening to these. If you guys enjoy these, feel free to subscribe, share, and we'll probably keep doing them down here because the sound's a little bit better and heck, it's the weight room, and that's what, where I do my work. So I appreciate y'all as always, and take care.